Hello everybody, I am the Dr. 727 or Lego Master JM with FCSD here for another CAD information video. Today we will be covering over how to patrol with the LEO departments. So if you're part of Frost County Sheriff Department or Michigan State Police, at the time of recording this, Michigan State Police is not currently available. However, when that is available, it's the same concept for how this works with the LEO channels. LEO stands for Law Enforcement Officer Channels. So let's get right into it. So again, you're going to want to, like in the last video for the civilian tab that we covered, in this video you're going to want to make sure that you're signed into your CAD as normal. If you don't have an account, you can go to the video that is for the CAD setup and set up your thing in the CAD system. Anyways, let's get started into the video. So when you're on the home page, you're going to want to click Patrol on your side nav as normal. You can also go to any server within here. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the Ultimate Driving server, again, like I did in the last video. Anyways, once you're in here, you're going to want to click the LEO department you're a part of. For me, I am only a part of the Sheriff Department, so I would click that. You're going to want to enter in your identifier, which you'll have a call sign for whatever department you're a part of. You're going to confirm that. You're going to click your subdivision, if you have any subdivisions and whatnot. You can choose those. For this, I'm just going to click on the supervisor unit for the time being. You can also leave this blank. It is completely up to you, depending on what rank you have or what subdivisions you have available to you. Then you're going to click confirm. It will then start loading into the MDT system, which you can then see here. As you can see, it currently lists all the units that are available on here. You can simply change out between the units, the bolos, and the calls by clicking on the side nav here for all units, all bolos, or active bolos if there's any active bolos, and for the calls here if there's any calls. You can then again go back to all units if you want to view all the units. You have on your side nav, you have your search panel, your reports panel, your 10 codes, your penal codes, your roadmaps for FCB or UD. You have your panic button, you have your notepad, you have your logout, you have your toggle signal 100 sound, and you have your manual status updater at the bottom of the side nav. For example, you can change yourself to 10.8, 10.6, or 10.7. Different colors are for the different states that you're on. So for example, if I'm 10.8, it'll mark me green. If somebody's 10.7, it'll mark them red. If somebody's 10.6, it'll mark them orange. Anyways, going into this, you can search up records for any civilian or vehicle. So you can enter in, for the person database, you can search up a person's name in here. For example, I can search up one of my characters, or you can also search it up by license number and whatnot. You can see if they have any registered weapons, any tickets, any prior, basically any prior tickets, any prior arrests, or if they have any warrants. Active ones will be highlighted in red. You can also see the details of the person. You can also see their driver's license, and you can also see if they have any vehicles registered to them. As well, you can also go to, for example, just take this one. You can also click on these vehicles, and it should pop them up. For example, you can go to the vehicle database and search up random plates. For example, I can search up ZYM. Actually, let's do ZEW. Do that. It'll show up the plate, the color, the RO, what the make and model of the vehicle is, and if there's any flags on the vehicle. If there's no flags, it won't put anything. If there is flags on the vehicle, it'll mark this in red. Then essentially you can just click off and to get out of there. You can do the same thing for reports. You can essentially create a citation, arrest, or warrant. Only supervisors plus can create warrants in the CAD system. So if you want to create a warrant, notify a supervisor and they can create a warrant for said person, and whatnot. You'll need a valid reason and all that stuff. So first, let's go into the citations. If you want to create a citation, you can enter in the name, the plate, the location, which, for example, postal, road, and then city. So, for example, that. Then you can also type in the infractions here for what they're charged with, and then essentially sign and submit the electronic ticket when it's done. And everything is filled out. If they do not have a plate registered, don't worry about it. You can skip the plate and essentially just put the plate listed in the information here, if it's a rental or if it's a temporary plate sort of thing, depending on the RP scenario. Essentially, that's how that works. You also have a little signature panel here that you can play with if you like, and then basically sign and submit the electronic ticket when they have signed the ticket via RP reasoning. Anyways, that's how you do citations. You can also do arrest reports by going to this one. You can essentially tell which one is which by the color, and whatnot. Citations are pink, arrest reports are yellow. So enter in the name, it'll enter that, enter in the location, again, postal, street, and then city. You can enter in charges, for example, section 2, title 1, 2103, for, say, like, reckless driving. And then sentence, however many months, for example, 5 months, the fine amount for $500, and then if they are getting their license revoked. You can essentially do that as well. Depending on the different scenario, if they have enough priors and whatnot to where it is a thing that they need their license revoked, you can, for too many dangerous driving violations and whatnot, you can essentially revoke their license. The user will then have to go into the civilian tab, edit their license status to revoked, and then whatnot, and it is good there. Then, essentially, when you're done with that, you can sign and submit an arrest report, and it'll document that into the CAD system. Anyways, that's how that works. You can also do that for warrants. Be advised that it says locked. This section is currently locked to supervisors only. And it's going to stay like that. Essentially, you're going to want to enter in the name of the person that is being accused. For example, I could essentially put the person that we're doing. If they have an indictment, superseding indictment, information, superseding information, complaints, probationary violation petition, supervised release violation, violation notice or order of the court. Then basically just list all the offenses like you would in an arrest report, and then essentially print your name here of who is essentially the initiating officer that is creating the warrant, and then you'll submit electronic warrants. When the suspect is apprehended, they'll essentially go to the warrant. For example, I could search up, I know. So essentially, they had a arrest report here, and essentially you can put in down at the bottom on something so-and-so, this officer you'll put your unit number, then your um, rank, then your name, and then basically that's what you'll do for suspect apprehended. That's only if a warrant is currently still red and they need to be caught and whatnot. That's essentially what you do when you catch that person that has that warrant. You can essentially mark that into the CAD system that the warrant has been fulfilled. It still stays on their record, but it has been fulfilled. Anyways, that is really it for this CAD system, except for the panic button, which essentially you can just press the panic. It'll give you a screen like the 911 for civilian. You'll put in who, essentially the postal, street, and the person that has pressed it, and then you'll be fine. I'll essentially just put in the postal, the street, and then the city, like you would for an arrest report, and it'll already say what unit has pressed their panic button for the dispatchers. That only works when dispatchers are online. If there are no dispatchers currently online, just essentially role play in the server that a panic button has been pressed by somebody and whatnot, and you're good there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you found it informational, please leave a like on the video, as well as subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with any content that we release. Is greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about that, you can voice them in the comments below, and we should reply to them as soon as possible. We're not able to get to everyone within one day, but we'll get to you as soon as possible. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching. I am the Dr. 727 or Lego Master Jam with Frost County's Bravest, signing off. Have a wonderful day.